In every single one of my containers, whether it's masterminds, mentorships, or my breathwork facilitator training, we always have this conversation about confidence. And I don't know what your definition of confidence is, but sometimes we think it's like a manly thing, right? It's very masculine and patriarchal, and confidence is being like assertive and loud. And sometimes that can look like confidence and really truly be confidence, but sometimes confidence is just a very subtle experience in how embodied you are as a practitioner. So, whether you resonate with being a practitioner or you're just a person in life who's working on your own confidence, there is a way to trust your skills and to be able to lead what it is that you want to lead in your life with impact by developing a sense of confidence. And it's a lot easier than you think it is, and in this episode, I'll break it down for you. And if this is your first time on the playground, go ahead and subscribe to the Playground Podcast. This is your space for spiritual exploration, personal development, self-mastery, magic, mysticism. And it's all about remembering that it's just not that serious. It's just the playground. So just be curious, have fun, and learn as you go. I'm Shanila Sattar. I am your host inside here. So today's conversation is really about the confidence gap. Okay. And especially if you are somebody who is from a underrepresented, marginalized, or underserved community, AKA you gotta work on your confidence. Like, we need you to step up as leaders. We need you to step up as embodied facilitators and practitioners, teachers and guides and professors and doctors. Like, we need you out here, like, doing better work here, like the best of the best are usually just hiding. Of course, not everybody. We have great people out here too. But I know many of you have so many different things that you want to share with the world and you want to do in the world, but you're just like hiding in your little room under your desk, and just like the big bad world is out here. Okay, so I want to give you some practical steps on how to deal with confidence, because it is one thing to be like, all right, pick yourself up by your bra straps and just like change your posture and now you're confident. Like, okay, sure, like that could be it. Sometimes like you look a certain way and you feel a certain way, for sure. Like sometimes it's like fake it till you make it energy. But there's also practical things that you can do in your day-to-day habits that support in you feeling more confident. So it's not necessarily you just like faking it and then feeling embodied in it. It's that you're just allowing yourself to embody confidence in the smallest, microest ways possible, and this compounded effort adds up over time. And that's literally what compounded means. It means the small things add up over time. So it's not like one day you're confident. It's like you do little things over time, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, how did I do that? And then you can pat yourself on the back. Okay. So I think I'm going to break down 4 things for you today. And the first thing I want to start with is being able to set and achieve small goals for yourself. Okay. One of the reasons why we have such a confidence gap is that, Delulu is the Salulu, but sometimes we have these delusional big dreams and we think like that's the first thing that we're supposed to achieve, when there's like 10 million micro things that we achieve in the meantime to this big delusional thing. So it's not that the delusional thing is impossible. It is totally possible, but there are so many micro steps in between that allow you to get to that big dream. And so if you've been on this podcast with me, I always talking about it like training for a marathon. So if the first day you're expecting to run your marathon after like never having trained for it, you're not likely to succeed. I never say never about these types of things, but like you're just not likely to succeed running 26 miles versus if you had trained for it, And so to kind of break that down, it's like the first day is not 26 miles. That is several months down the road, but maybe the first day is half a mile, or the first day is 1 mile, right? Like whatever your baseline is. And those are things that you have to celebrate along the ways. So sometimes we are a little unreasonable of what it is that we can accomplish in the time that we can accomplish it. So we're like, okay, today is the half marathon, or today is the marathon day, when it's your first day. You know what I mean? So you're going to need to have smaller goals that are not necessarily always going to feel like this big accomplishment, because it's like, okay, what am I going to feel accomplished running half a mile when I'm trying to run 26 miles? Like that is so far away from my goal. But guess what? half a mile is half a mile closer to your goal than 0 miles. So you are closer to your goals. And what you need to do is to be able to set these smaller milestones for yourself that allows you to have more manageable celebrations, so you can like celebrate something. And don't we all like to feel accomplished? Like, don't you like to check something off or have something to work towards? And if my main goal is to be able to run 26 miles, then it's going to be such a long time until I can celebrate that. Unless I broke it down to, okay, here's a 3-mile marker, and then here's my 10-mile marker, and then here's my 15-mile marker. And so every several weeks, I'm like working up to these micro goals and being able to celebrate myself in that way. And so when I reach 3 miles, then I can fucking celebrate it, because before I couldn't, before I was at half a mile, but I get to celebrate that a lot faster than I get to celebrate 26 miles, right? That's going to take me months. And in the meantime, when I'm like, I don't have anything to celebrate, now I'm woe is me. I can't do this, da, da, da. So let me stop talking about marathons and let me talk about you as a wellness practitioner, because many folks have these grandiose dreams of like my business, right? Like, or this thing that I'm going to do, or this thing that is my dream, or this vision that I have, without really being able to see yourself in the achievements that are micro and on the path to your goal. So what are some of those things that you can celebrate on the path to your goal? What are the small achievable things that are manageable to you, that are within your near reality? So it's not like today, it's not like tomorrow. So if I go back to our running example, it's like, yeah, you're not going to go to 3 miles if your first day is half a mile like tomorrow, but it is more nearby than your 26 miles. So what is something in your life that is more nearby? What is a closer dream or a closer goal that is on the path to this bigger goal? Okay. So this does a lot of things for your confidence, okay? Because it's like, yeah, we're talking about goal setting and we're talking about goal achievement, but your confidence is really built on seeing evidence of yourself doing the thing that you want to be doing. So if I'm trying to be a marathon runner, or I'm trying to like do this one marathon, and I have no evidence for my success, of course I'm not going to feel so confident, because I didn't get to celebrate anything. I didn't get to like check anything off my list. I didn't get to like, track my progress and do whatever it is that you enjoy doing on the process of that. And that's going to hurt your confidence, right? So this is going to incrementally be able to train your capacity for confidence and also your nervous system. Right? And confidence actually does have to do with your nervous system's capacity to hold the discomfort and to hold delayed gratification, for you to hold the patience of, not having this immediate thing that just showed up in your life. This patience is like, let your nervous system regulate. So you're not feeling panicked to quit. So you're not feeling overwhelmed to not try again, or so you don't feel like you need to overdo a thing, so you're trying to get to something faster, you're trying to get to the 26 faster. It's like, calm down, relax, take a deep breath. And how does that translate to you being able to set your goals? So along the same lines, and this is part 1 and 2, kind of like there's an overlap in what I'm about to say. It's also really important to acknowledge your achievements, to like review something that you already achieved gives your psyche, like your mind, your energy, just a little pat on the back, and it's this reinforcement of your own competency. It's a reinforcement of it's a self-assurance reinforcement. You're assuring that like, okay, we made it through this way. So this goes back to the first one, which I said, set and achieve small goals, but then also acknowledge that you did that, right? And sometimes we are so hard on ourselves where it's not that you didn't do anything, it's that you're not noticing that you did something, especially for a lot of overachievers. Like, nothing's enough. Nothing's ever good enough. So you did 40 things, but it's like, okay, did you celebrate it? Did you like give yourself a pat on the back? And so that is fundamentally a part of the process, to slow down and to collect yourself and to say, oh, okay, wow, I did 3 miles. Wow. Like, it's been 4 weeks and I've been consistent every week, and like whatever that celebration point is to actually acknowledge it. And so for many people, this makes you act. If you're not doing this, a lot of people, especially in my clientele, You're going to come here and you're going to say, now I have imposter syndrome. And now we have to sit and list all your accomplishments and your achievements. And then you're like, oh, wow, I do have evidence for my success. I do have evidence to pursue this particular thing or in the way that I want to pursue it because of the fact that I can now see it on paper. Okay, so acknowledgement is a part of that confidence building. The third thing that I'm going to say, and I'm a broken record on this, take a deep breath as you hear me say this one more time. Seek mentorship and guidance. Seek mentorship and guidance. Seek mentorship and guidance. Okay. And what form that looks like for you is really on you. Okay. So I'm not saying only this type is right and only this type is good. No, there's many variations that work for different people. And so mentorship and guidance could be formal or informal, right? So it could be a paid capacity or not paid capacity. There's folks that can work with you in an internship. They can work with you in terms of, shadowing somebody at their job. They can work with you in a work exchange. You can pay somebody to be there, to be your mentor. You can pay somebody for their guidance. There's different variations of that. So one of your reasons for confidence or the lack thereof is that sometimes you're trying to solve problems that are already been solved by other people in your industry, but you're just trying to do it by yourself. Whether it's you trying to save a buck or you haven't really found or identified who that mentor is for you, whatever your reason is, try to call in your mentor. Okay. And it's like, I'll put myself out there. If you feel called to work with me, that is an option. I'll leave you links in my show notes, etc. That's always an option there if it's aligned, but there might be somebody who's more aligned in a different way for you. So start to go into their container, start to experience the offers they're putting out, start to pay attention to their content in whatever way makes sense for you. And it doesn't mean to put anybody on a pedestal. That's not what a mentorship is or who a mentor is. A mentor is a guide. They're somebody who is helping you discover yourself as they're supporting you and asking the right questions and giving you guidance towards the resources and the tools that are already available within that category. And for me, I have always sought mentorship. If there's anything that I've done, I always have a mentor for that. Right? Shout out to mentors who mentor me. You know what I mean? So I'm always shouting out mentors on my podcast, maybe by name or, it's like you secretly know who you are, and there's academic mentor, there's yoga mentor, there's music mentor, there's so many different expressions and versions of me, which is like, I don't feel like I need to be the expert and I don't need to solve the problem. I like that there's somebody else who is such an expert at this that they can guide me. And it's not like I'm helpless, like I'm contributing, but I'm also being guided by somebody who's been there, done that. And there's so much beauty in being able to do something with somebody who is years into their practice, in whatever context that practice is. They have so much value, so much knowledge, so much wisdom. And it's like, you just can't like do that by yourself, And there is a little bit of, let me put it there, which is there is a little bit of colonialism when we think about mentorship and exchange of knowledge, because our elders are libraries, and our elders have so much information to give and share. And in a culture that really values individualism, we kind of forget that there's so many wisdom keepers and wisdom holders that we're just not learning from anymore. You know what I mean? And I'll leave that there as a different conversation for a different day. But mentorship and guidance is totally what supports your confidence. And it's not just getting the mentorship, it's also being able to be witnessed by somebody who's seeing you through your growth. And that is something that is invaluable. Mentors aren't like a one-off thing where you're just in like a transactional interaction. You're there for quite some time. Ideally you would have a mentor for a long period of time because they get to witness you through different phases and stages, and you get to, see yourself in that growth and to be witnessed in your growth. I personally have found a lot of value in different people who have mentored me in different domains. And at any time, I'm just so thankful that, there's somebody who can like see you through growth and meet you at your next level, and they're at their next level too, or their next iteration of themselves, and then you get to witness your mentors like expanding and changing as well, and it brings the human back in the interaction. It's like we're just all people, and you're helping me and I'm helping you, you know, and there's something so beautiful about that process. So when you connect with experienced mentors who can support you, who can share their own struggles with, you know, imposter syndrome or perfectionism or anything that you're particularly going through, it provides this very beautiful mirror. It's not like they have all the answers and you're like seeking all the answers for them. They're just mirroring back to you where you are in your growth too. And that gives you better opportunity to explore yourself and build your confidence through being seen. And don't we all struggle with that? Because what was the first stuff that I said? It says, set yourself up to achieve small goals so that you can see yourself in your success. Acknowledge your achievements so that you can see evidence of your success. So get some mentorship so that you can see evidence of your growth being reflected right back at you, not because you are making it up in your head, but because there's somebody's like physically witnessing you through these changes. And they're like, wow, that's impressive. Like how, you know, and that's the beauty of being in a container that allows you to experience that. Now, let me get to the fourth point, which let me think what I wanted to say. Oh yeah. The fourth point I want to make for you to build your confidence, to close the confidence gap, is to heal your negative self-talk. So man, you know, that is like, you gotta stop that. You know, it's like, it's how old are you now? You know what I mean? It's like the negative self-talk that happens in your head, the criticalness, the questioning, the what ifness, the fear mongering, like, okay, enough, you know, like, what if good things happened? What if amazing things happened? What if you were successful? What if you were able to do the thing? What if? It's this negative self-talk that you've probably adapted from when you were younger, through caretakers, through perhaps neglect, through abuse, through trauma. There's so many different reasons why this negative self-talk could have appeared and come. But now is the time, now is the opportunity to really, really, really reframe your negative self-talk. Because no matter how many successes and achievements you have on paper, if you're still in your head saying this sucks, you're not good, this is not enough, then it never will be. And there's nothing I could say into a microphone that's going to change that. There's nothing that's going to, you know, like, unless you want me to be the voice in your head, which sometimes you do DM me and say that I am the voice in your head, in which case I'm like, that I think is a good thing, maybe. I don't know, but you should be the voice in your head. You know, that's the voice that should live in your head. And if I can support you in, you know, starting that, and then it eventually becomes your voice, that's really amazing. So I'll leave you with these 4 things that you can actually start to do today. Setting yourself achievable goals, small, tiny, micro, you know, and then acknowledge when you accomplish those things because they're so tiny and micro. It's like, okay, you're setting yourself up for success. Then find these mentorship spaces, whether it's free or paid, whether it's me or someone else, right? Like, there's so many opportunities and so many great people out here that there's somebody out here for you. And lastly, and not leastly, heal this negative self-talk. Okay, it's got to start reframing the criticism, the bullying, the harmful narratives, and just be a little nicer to you. Okay, and then you're going to start to see your confidence spike up, and then you're going to be like, bam, 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 and you're going to do all of this stuff, and then I'll be celebrating you from over here. Okay, high five to you, big ups to you. I know you can do it because confidence is something that is a natural element to your being. And your natural element wants you to stand up and shout and dance and twerk and really just be this like high vibrational energy of your own essence. So you can't fake that. You know what I mean? It's not a fakeable. It's like the more that your confidence builds in that way, the more that you can start to trust your skills and you can become the leader that you want in the things that you want to lead. Capiche? Beautiful. So, folks, I'll leave you a couple of links in the show notes if you feel called to work with me in any capacity, whether it's one-on-one mentorship inside Dive or you want to come become a certified breathwork facilitator. You can head to www.flowbreathworktraining.com and you'll get all the information there. And friends, just remember, the world is your playground. And until next time, I will catch you soon.